Welcome to the Killing Podcast, Season 1, Episode 4, A Soundless Echo.
That's a good name.
I'm your host, Martha Southgate, and with me is...
I'm Rob Southgate.
All right, we got to
already
jump
talked,
in.
so...
That's okay, but we have to jump in because...
We do.
Holy cow, was this an episode.
Yeah, there was a lot going on here.
This was fantastic.
Well,
okay.
it's funny because we're going to get to all sorts of things that were revealed, but even after watching the show and just talking here, we had questions like crazy.
We have questions.
This was one of those episodes that moved the story forward in big ways and left us with so many more questions.
Yeah, I think if they had done one more episode where it was just them chasing their tails a little bit, it would have kind of fallen off the rails. But because they pushed it so far in this one, it's like, oh, this is fun. Now well,
that's what makes this show really good. I mean, what are we, 4 episodes in? We can already tell this is a really good show. It's like with Breaking Bad. You start watching Breaking Bad, and within a couple of episodes, I mean, you really like it, but they start taking risks. They start flipping over cards so fast. You're going, wait a minute. Where's this show going to go? That's how this is. You feel like you're getting really close to who the killer is. You're not getting really close to who the killer is.
Not if there are, like 9 more episodes.
Right.
So we start...
To this season, I don't think they're going to reveal it in this season. I thought I heard that they reveal it in the second season.
Oh, I thought it
Spoiler.
was each season was a different murder.
No, I think that we go into the second season before we find out who killed Rosie.
Wow.
So... all this stuff that we're seeing, we may find out, but they may not catch them till the second season.
Oh.
I don't know how that's going to work. But...
okay. I thought every season was a different murder.
Okay. You know what? You may be right.
I don't know. I made that up. I think I made that up.
Yeah, I think I had read... I really tried to stay away from finding out anything about the show beforehand, but I thought I had read that. We'll find out. Let's just find out. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to know.
No, we're not looking it up.
Nobody better write in with a spoiler and tell us. Because we're not going to read it. Take that. Take that, Facebook. All right. Let's get into this thing.
All right. So it opens up with Chris Eccles in a holding room.
Right.
At the police station.
Right.
Thank you. Hello.
He is tweaking. You can see it.
He has the DTs.
He's visibly needing his fix.
Yeah, he's freaking out.
And he's yelling at Sarah.
Well, Sarah and Holder are both on the other side of the glass.
Right. They're on the other side of the glass, and he's kicking the wall and hitting the glass, and he's yelling at her, though, that he didn't do anything to her. He's just yelling that out, but he says, I think he's yelling at Sarah. There's something that indicated it was yelling at her.
Well, they come in the room with him, and he's proclaiming his innocence.
Right, of course.
They put the video on. They tell him, we've got...
Well, yeah, Sarah's sitting there telling him, and Holder wheels in a TV and shows him a video of the dance.
Yes.
Of her with the wig on and her at the dance. And they haven't shown him the devil video yet.
No.
El Diablo. I still like to say that. But they are showing him that they have this video evidence of the dance, which also shows that he's placed as being there, because that's what was happening there, is he was claiming he didn't do anything, but he's also claiming I wasn't there.
Right.
And they're like,
but we know he was there.
Here you go.
Yeah.
We know you were there.
And so Sarah's got a picture frozen on the screen of Rosie.
Right.
And she tells Eccles, you tell Rosie that you didn't kill her.
Oh,
you look at Rosie and you tell her that
tough.
You didn't kill her.
And he's staring at it.
It's not tough if you didn't kill her.
Yeah, but it is, because she's dead. He knows she's dead. He can say it all he wants. We don't see if he says it or not, but it is tough, because you're looking at the face of somebody that you know.
Yes.
And is dead.
Yes.
And then she's pressuring you to say you didn't kill her, and it's like, I didn't kill her. He's saying I didn't kill her. He didn't say it right here, but it is a very difficult situation.
And at the time of this scene, we weren't exactly sure that he didn't kill her.
Right. Well, we're still actually not sure he didn't. We're still not sure of anything.
We're fairly sure.
Right, we're fairly sure, but we don't really know because anything could come to light and make us think otherwise.
Well, okay, well, let's go, and then we'll talk about it as we get to where I want to talk about.
Yes,
touch on that.
Thing. Okay, so we go to the credits.
So now it's day 4.
Day 4, yes.
Eccles is still being held.
Yep.
And he hasn't broken yet. And at this point, I'm thinking he's guilty. I was thinking he was guilty at this stage.
Right.
And Jasper is in with his lawyer in another room, and I'm thinking, yeah, the two of them did it on accident, was what I was thinking. Yeah, and then they tried to cover it up.
I thought it was too soon for that to be revealed, so I thought that what we thought we saw happen is what happened, is what I was thinking. And somehow she got out of there, and then it happened, which makes it look bad for these guys, but I didn't think they actually killed her.
Right, no. But at the time, I'm just saying.
And I'm saying at the time that's how I was perceiving it.
Okay. So you're smarter than I am.
No, I'm not smarter than you are.
No, I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm saying it like, because I was really gullible, thinking, oh, it's these two. Well, they did it on accident, yada, yada. And then there are other things intertwined. I thought maybe the dad, that Jasper's dad was in on helping them get rid of the body.
This, and that's why it had
Darren's
Darren Richmond's car.
Yeah. All that stuff. So I was thinking, I was going off on a whole different tangent.
Well, that all would make sense. That would all make sense. But I really didn't think that.
Yeah.
But you were saying that on the last episode, that you thought, and I was definitely buying into the fact that
I don't know that we talked about it on there, or if you and I talked about it privately.
No, I think we talked about how you thought it could be his dad. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We don't usually talk about too much of that kind of stuff after the fact, so we don't really hash out anything that we don't hash out here. So I'm pretty sure we talked about it here. If we didn't, get our secret episode. Well, you'll never get it because you're never going to
record it.
How do you know? I'm recording everything.
Sarah goes
through my peephole.
Ew. Okay. Sarah goes.
Yuck.
Goes to talk to Jasper and the lawyer, and Holder is staying in, to deal with Eccles. But the lieutenant stops Holder.
Oh, this is great.
I called him Holden. Sorry, Holder. And he tells him to clean up and put on a suit. He said, he looks worse than the tweaker.
He says the junkie looks better than you do. That was a great one.
But I mean, it was as if the skies opened up and the light shone down, and I heard, this wonderful, angel singing. Because
that didn't sound like a wonderful angel singing, I have to tell you.
But he's telling Holder to go put a suit on. Okay, now we can get closer to Mulder.
You're flying very close to that Mulder sun right now, aren't you, Kid Icarus?
Because he's telling her, what'd you call me?
Icarus.
Oh, Icarus, yeah. I thought you said...
I said Kid Icarus, because that's a video game.
Oh, that's why I did not know what you were talking about.
Okay, but you were Icarus, and you're flying too close to the sun.
But
the sun being Mulder.
Holder dressed like Mulder.
The Holder dressed like Mulder, the golden god.
Is blowing my mind.
Oh, yeah.
But not if he's a druggie. I hope... Oh, wait, we haven't talked about that yet.
We don't know. Just wait.
Okay. So, Holder's talking to Eccles, and Sarah's got Jasper.
Right.
Okay.
And Jasper is there with his lawyer.
Yes.
His lawyer comes in with him.
Not his dad.
His
dad's out of the country.
Dad's out of the country. We're just going to have a conversation. I'm representing
Exactly. Him. Mitch and Stan now are the next scene, and they are shopping for caskets.
Actually, no, you missed a little moment.
Did I?
As they're walking Jasper into the room...
Yeah.
Sarah and the lawyer go in first, and Jasper and Eccles see each other through the glass, and they give a look. And once again, going back to what you were saying, it is not necessarily a look of innocence.
Right.
They look at each other like, don't say anything, or what is about to happen. So, there is that question. Once again, I just didn't think that they did it, so I wasn't buying that right there, but I was definitely thinking
They're guilty of something.
These two guys are guilty of something. And
they're probably guilty of a lot of things.
They're going to keep them. They're trying to signal to each other to shut up. Mm-hmm. And it was very subtle. It was very quick. But I wanted to make sure we hit that. Because
I was a little overcome by Holder in a suit. So I think I was so blinded by that I didn't catch anything else that happened in that scene.
And then the scene where Holder and Lyndon are sitting there and she's got barbecue sauce on her face.
Okay, shut up.
And he reaches over and he says, "You've got a little barbecue sauce right there."
Shut up.
Okay.
All right, so we have Mitch and Stan, and this is a really...
All you X-Files out there know exactly what that was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch and Stan are shopping for caskets, and it's just agony.
Oh,
Agony.
Every episode is like ripping my heart out.
Yes.
And I am dreading every stage of this.
And I wasn't really expecting them to show us every stage, but they are really showing us every
they're trying to hit
bit of
home
the process
what
that
this
this couple has to go through.
And it's all about the tragedy of a killing and the investigation and everything around it, and they're really giving us all those details.
You never see this part of it, though.
And seeing the guy selling the casket, he's a salesman.
He's slimy.
But you know what? That's how they are. That's what they do.
No offense to anyone who might be listening that sells caskets. We are not trying to offend you.
You're so politically correct.
Much.
Right.
We're only trying to offend you if you were like that guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're not anti-director.
Anti-director?
Funeral director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I was speaking to Lingity.
Oh.
You know I wasn't.
No.
Anyway, the guy he's trying to sell the casket. He says, like, "Oh, that's like a perfect one for a young lady."
Oh, it's so sick. It's like, how wrong.
It's like some weird old guy selling prom dresses, you know? But it's a casket.
But it's a casket. And
then they're adding on the crypt or whatever, and just the whole thing.
And he's telling them that this will protect her from all the elements. It's like,
how about the one when he said it has an adjustable mattress? For what?
Who needs a sleep number bed in their casket?
You know why? Because you're vulnerable right then, and you're thinking, "Oh, I want them to be comfortable." Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a spoiler. They are neither comfortable nor uncomfortable at that point. Spoiler alert for when somebody dies. There we go. I just laid that out there.
You just did a public service announcement to all people.
You know what? On this episode, when we get to that point, you're going to hear, ring, the more you know.
There you go.
Thank you.
The more you know about ways that funeral directors will try to upsell you.
The more you know.
We got Darren now. Why don't we go to Darren?
I'm lost. I forgot what we were talking about.
Darren.
How often does this happen in these episodes? I start talking about other things, and I get completely lost. You say Darren, I can't even remember who Darren is. I remember now, but for a moment there, I can't remember. And it lets little things like Batman It lets little things like Batman slip into my consciousness for a second. I started thinking about Batman again.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about Darren.
We are.
He's finding out that the endorsement didn't help in terms of stopping the bleeding that's happening with their campaign.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, I'm back in it. Back in it to win it.
Gwen lets him know they're out of money. They really need to be doing a media blitz.
Oh, yeah.
But they can't afford it.
When they're with the new consultant, this new guy, he's obviously...
He's the new Jamie.
I'm assuming that's who he is. I mean, he might just be head of PR or something.
Yeah, he might have been somebody who was there the whole time.
But I think he's kind of stepped into Jamie's role. Mm-hmm. And
not his pants.
Terrible.
Or his shoes.
So
what?
Gwen,
it's a figure of speech.
It's a figure of speech. Maybe he stepped into his suit.
Wait, when you just did that voice, it reminded me of the guy on Darkness Falls when he goes, "They're afraid of the light." Oh, that was just a little X-Files.
Oh my god!
Reference.
I was so lost.
You just did his voice. They're afraid of the light. You remember that one with the bugs?
I remember that one with the bugs. What show are we talking about? Oh yeah, The Killing. Enough about Mulder and Scully.
No, because there's more once we get a little further in.
Oh, yes.
Okay, wait, where am I?
Here's where we're at.
Okay.
Gwen says that they should call Tom Drexler.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Tom Drexler yet, but obviously Darren has, and Darren wants nothing to do with this guy. And he says he thinks every politician is just in the pocket of, these spoiled rich jerks like him. So right away I'm thinking, okay, he's either going to be some old stuffed shirt, like money guy, or like a Mark Cuban type guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out soon, he's a Mark Cuban type guy.
Well, and Jamie in this scene, Gwen in this scene says one thing Jamie was right about was using him. Gwen consistently
She's throwing Jamie
has
under the bus.
thrown Jamie under the bus. I really feel like she's guilty of something there.
Right. Now, there's still a question mark about the leak. There was at the end, in the last episode, we talked about it there. There still is this episode, even though they took action on Jamie. And we'll get to that.
But she does a lot of things that are shifty.
She's throwing Jamie under the bus. But that still doesn't mean it's her. She may very well think it was Jamie. So this is her opportunity to take another dig at him because, hey, he betrayed them if she thinks that way. So we don't know. It
could go either way.
Or she's
just being territorial, like protective of the campaign and of Darren.
Right.
Okay, so Sarah is playing the video.
Well, she's showing Jasper the video.
And the lawyer.
And once again, just as awful as when we saw it in the last episode. And Jasper... the lawyer doesn't want him to talk, and Jasper starts yelling. He's like,
Jasper kind of jumps up, and he's like, I want to explain.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
And he says to her that it isn't what she thinks.
Right.
It's not what you think. And then they cut away.
Yes.
So now we're like, what do you mean it's not what you think?
Right.
It's what you think. You see them, like, taking turns with this girl. It's this horrible scene.
Exactly. How is it not what we think?
And now we see Eccles with Holder, and this is actually a really interesting thing, because we don't know. But he says to him, Eccles says to Holder, you got the itch like me.
They know you do.
They know you've got the itch like me.
Yeah. Does that mean he's a drug addict?
Well, it might mean that, or... I mean, that's what he's saying. But... I don't know if Holder's a drug addict or if it's just it's the vibe is so strong with him because he was Vice.
The vibe is strong with you,
the
young
vibe
Skywalker.
is strong with this one. Yes. No, I am your drug dealer. That's what he's going to say to Eccles. Did you like that? I even got the no right because everyone says, Luke, I am your father. It's no, I am your father. Spoiler for Empire Strikes Back.
Well, it's not a spoiler if everybody knows that.
Everybody knows. Even our daughter knows it. She's 6 and never seen it. Everybody knows.
You're a failure as a father. She hasn't seen it.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm working our way through Alfred Hitchcock movies, all kinds of cool stuff with her. What are you slacking on?
Oh,
you haven't even shown her Empire
Let me ratchet up. Oh. Yep. Now you're in trouble. We're going to watch Battle Beyond the Stars, and we're going to have a big talk about John Boy.
The Battle of the Network Stars?
No, we'll watch
with
that
Barbie
next.
Benton?
That would be awesome.
And
do you know if that happened now, there's a good chance that we would see Holder and Lyndon as a couple on Battle of the Network Stars.
I don't think so.
Or Circus of the Stars.
No. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah. It'd be them against Jesse and Walt.
No, unfortunately it would be more like One Direction.
Who's One Direction?
The band. It would be like...
Oh my God. When you said One Direction, I immediately thought of Small Wonder because I thought that's what you meant. I'm like, that was on so many years ago.
Where did you get One Direction out of Small Wonder?
See, you just did too.
No, I am asking you.
You said One Direction and I heard Wonder and went right into Small Wonder.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, no, it would be.
I really did. That's so sad.
And now we're way so far off. Okay.
Can we get back to the show?
So, Holder,
you got the itch like me.
Yeah.
So then
Holder... Then Jasper...
He's playing bad cop.
He kind of tells him Jasper's giving him up.
Yeah.
And Eccles, you could see, was not scared by this video. He was kind of laughing.
Right. And he shows him the video from inside the cage at this point. And Eccles is just like, yeah, right. He actually does laugh.
Yeah, he's kind of,
what,
just
that's
sort of,
what you got?
Yeah, exactly. And
you don't know crap here.
And I know, well, so we still don't, because then they cut away again.
And we forgot, Sarah comes in during this thing, right after the itch statement, and and Holder like kicks her out. She's like, no, I really need to talk to you. He's like, I am busy right now.
Yeah, he's
you talk to me afterwards.
And he's kind of talking and he's talking real street.
Right. He's playing bad cop, he's doing his thing. So very well, I mean, she probably thought, well, maybe this will get some type of information if I let this go. So that's why she left. Okay, so that was just kind of important, I thought.
It was. Thanks for
now
sharing.
we see
Mayor and Jamie.
Yeah, what is it, Mayor Adams?
Mayor Adams and Jamie meet in a bar.
Right.
That sounds like the beginning of a joke.
Right. The mayor and Jamie
It's
walk
not
into
funny,
a bar.
though. This isn't a joke.
Oh.
It's very serious. They both have come from, they kind of discuss their backgrounds.
One of them's wearing a duck on his head. Now it's turning into a joke.
They've both come from poor backgrounds.
And there's a rabbi rolling a donut. It's
a snake rolling a donut. In Pee-wee?
Who's telling this joke?
Okay. They both have come from poor backgrounds, and Jamie's saying how upset he is by Darren's actions.
Right.
And he says, I believed in him, and I thought it was mutual. And
you know what? I wrote big letters here. He's not the leak.
No, he's not the leak.
Right. He got the shaftola.
Yeah, and it kind of the scene broke my heart a little bit.
And of course, immediately I'm thinking, I kind of got lost in this scene then, because all I'm thinking about is, it's that Gwen. But we don't know it's Gwen. We're still making assumptions there.
Yes, of course we are. It's our job.
Right. And something tells me it's not going to turn out to be Gwen.
Right. Because nothing is turning out like we...
Right.
Except for one thing, but which we'll get to later. Okay, so the mayor's trying to...
No, that was you. Yeah. The thing coming up.
But the mayor's trying to woo him.
Right. And he wants to hire him. And Jamie's like... and we don't get his answer.
Yeah.
We don't get his answer whether he's going to go work for Mayor Adams. I really hope he doesn't, especially when he didn't get the shaft. Or... Well, no, he did.
Well, he did.
But...
Okay, wait. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
So Darren is not getting any results from calling his supporters.
He's on the phone and he's getting rejected.
He's trying to get some money, and they are just not coughing it up for this guy at this point.
No.
And I mean, I could certainly understand that,
Sure.
Gwen, though, is in the other room, secretly calling Senator Eaton's office, and she's setting up a meeting. And this is the kind of stuff, I just feel like fishy. She's real shady.
Yeah.
And I don't...
definitely fishy at this point.
no matter what, I don't trust her. She may not be the leak, but she's got plenty that she's guilty of.
Yeah, but you know what? You always have a problem with, the blonde girl character like that. I'm going back to Maria Covarrubias.
Maria Covarrubias.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I don't always have a problem.
And then when she was on Walking Dead, Laurie Holden was on Walking Dead.
Okay, I didn't like her. I still don't like her.
Yep, see? You have a
But I liked her towards the... No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Do you like Gwen?
I love Michonne.
Michonne's not the blonde girl that...
I don't care about blondes.
But you have some kind of issue there.
No, I have an issue with liars, and she's
secretive. Was Maria Covarrubias?
Yes, she was working... she was working some angles. So Gwen, I don't trust.
She wasn't on Walking Dead, though.
No, I didn't like her because...
Busted.
I didn't like her because of the holdover of Maria.
My argument is solid.
No, it is not.
I rest my case.
I'm going to think of a blonde before this is over. I truly don't have an issue with blondes. I have friends that are blonde. I have light hair.
I don't think you have an issue with all blondes. I think you have an issue with blondes that are in a position of power on shows like that.
I can't think of any others. I liked the blonde from Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad.
What's Breaking Dead? What is Breaking Dead? That sounds like an awesome show.
I just created a crossover.
Oh my gosh.
I like her, Skylar.
But Skylar...
But you know who I didn't like? The blonde from Mad Men.
Who's the
I
blonde
can't stand her.
Oh, the wife.
Oh, the ex.
Yeah.
The ex-wife.
Oh, yeah. You don't like her.
Okay, so I might have a little bit...
She's really different than Gwen and Maria Covarrubias.
Maria Covarrubias.
I can't say that.
Okay, whatever. We've gone so far off topic.
Laurie Holden. I can say that.
Okay. So she's setting up a meeting.
Okay.
She's shifty.
She's shifty. Those
Rosie's friend Sterling now is being...
No, I don't.
Sarah's talking to her.
Sarah's talking to Sterling.
Yeah. And she said it was her in the costume in the cage. What?
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Big revelation. That's why Eccles was laughing, kind of laughing at him. But it doesn't. I think then Jasper and Eccles might have just been afraid that they would be arrested for date rape or something.
Or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever.
Well, no, not even that. I mean, that might be it. I think that they knew that they were some of the last ones to see Rosie.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that it was what happened in the cage. The cage was inconsequential. Plus, Sterling said the reason for the blood was she gets bloody noses.
Right.
So we're thinking it was this other thing, and it's not. It's not a nice thing, but it's not what we thought. But they know that they had involvement with Rosie on that final night.
So it wasn't Rosie in the cage, it was Nosy.
Oh, very good.
I just made that up.
That joke was sterling.
Wasn't that fun? Oh, ouch.
Thank you.
Okay. So she said it was...
I threw you off. You had to pause
so bad.
a big one there.
No. So it was clearly not Rosie. She said she was already gone by then.
It was clearly not Rosie in the wig and hosey.
What are you singing?
I'm singing. That's from Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to break into song for Bye Bye Birdie. We should watch that.
Molly already saw that one.
Yeah, she was like 3.
Okay, so she said Rosie would disappear during fourth period and was getting on the 108 bus. She saw her repeatedly getting on the 108 bus.
Right, and she said
saying that she would stay at her house when she wasn't, so she was gone overnight.
Right, and I wrote on here that she's lying to her mom.
Yeah.
She's lying at school.
She has a double life.
Like there's a whole thing going on there.
Yeah.
So
we're going to find out.
And she doesn't know where she went, but she does mention that 108 bus. Mm-hmm. Then we get outside, and what a shocker.
Mulder and Sarah in the rain.
It's raining again!
It's raining, man.
Is it?
No.
I didn't think so. You're just trying to up my everything is Rosie.
Yeah.
I'm going to be starring in a production of Bye Bye Birdie. Thank you very much. In the Dick Van Dyke role.
I will not be there. Yeah. You got the dick part right.
Oh, you got the Van Dyke part right. Take that.
Oh, the Dyke part.
Take that.
Okay.
Explicit rating now.
Darn
Very
it.
nice.
Okay. So they were saying that a secret affair would explain the shoes.
Wait, you just kind of skipped over.
No, Sarah and Holder are in the rain.
Right, and they're talking about how
she has a second life.
Right, they're talking about that.
It makes sense to me. I have a feeling a few people followed my little thread there.
But they're saying that okay, there's the possibility she had this second life, that she was having an affair, and then
it would explain the shoes.
It would explain the shoes, and those are those expensive shoes.
Yes,
that Holder knew what they were in the first episode,
which is hysterical.
And Lyndon did not.
Right.
Yes.
So Holder wants to go talk to the Larsons, and Sarah just cuts him off again. Whatever reason, she's keeping him from them.
She's being alpha dog. She's
peeing on him?
Yep. Because she's saying, no, I'm going to go talk to them. You do this.
I was already going to meet with them.
Right.
So Holder finally
and he gets upset.
Gets vocal about it after all this time for edging him out.
Right. And what does she do? Starts chewing the gum.
Well, he says, I love this partnership. Wait, no, here's my moment. Yet another one.
Uh-oh.
The sky opens up. The light is shining down. There's some angels singing. Okay.
I want to hear those angels singing again.
I have nothing for you right now. Okay. So he says to her...
Was that Ariel?
I don't know. Wait, let me get my line out. He says... I love this partnership. You do whatever you want, and I'll spend my time chasing you down. Hello, Scully!
Yeah.
That was what Scully said to Mulder all the time. And so they've switched roles here.
Oh, he's
Holder is Scully.
He's kind of a Holder-Scully hybrid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So does that mean he wipes the barbecue sauce off his own face? Or does Lyndon wipe it off his face?
Okay. I don't know. We're going to wait and see. But this is good.
Jack is the cigarette smoking boy. And
he doesn't smoke.
Yes, he does. What, have you been missing all this?
Well, she found the cigarettes. I thought they were her own.
No, she found the cigarettes in his pillow. And well, we haven't gotten there yet, but she did.
Oh, darn.
And in the first episode, he got kicked out of school for smoking.
Oh, yeah. So he's cigarette smoking boy.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So she's popping her gum during this scene.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before. As soon as he confronts her, out comes the Nicorette into the mouth. You so called it on that.
I did. I have my moments. Sarah sends... Oh, of course, they're not important. Like, what does that have to do with the storyline? But you know what? Darn it, I noticed it.
You noticed it.
Sarah,
you got a couple of good ones in this one.
I do. Sarah sends him to find out where the 108 bus goes.
Right.
And he is not a happy boy. But
think about it. He's going to be sitting on a bus all day.
All day.
And she says...
She won't let him get off.
She points out to him that the 108 does not go anywhere near Rosie's home.
Right.
So get on that thing and figure out where it goes. Even that, you could just tell he was like, oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
This is going to be the worst. You're going to go talk to the parents. You're going to be hunting down leads. I'm going to be sitting on a bus all day.
But he ends up with the best part.
He does.
So Gwen meets with the senator.
Right.
And asks him to get her a meeting with Tom Drexler. And guess what?
You called this one,
I called this one, too. The senator was her dad.
You said it right away. You said, that's her dad.
Yep.
And turns out it's her dad.
I was right.
He is not impressed with Darren.
Like Darren. Not even a little bit.
And he gives her some shots, too, for backing him. And...
Yeah, he doesn't seem to respect her path.
No.
So he tells her, and also how awkward, he tells her he knows she's sleeping with Darren.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that from Dad.
No.
No, not cool. Not
Especially
cool.
when he already doesn't respect your choices, and then you go and do something that's stupid.
Right.
It's, he's just, pretty
but see,
much
this is where I really doubt that she's the leak, that she's the problem.
Right.
Because she did do this sneaky move and went behind his back solely to help him.
Right, that's why I said...
The leak is not helping him.
If she's not the leak, it doesn't matter. She's still wily. She's still sneaky and...
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like that.
She wears a suit, she's got blonde hair. And
I don't care about... Oh my gosh, why do you paint me that way?
Because you haven't been able to talk your way out of it yet.
There's nothing to talk my way. I can dislike a person.
No, I know you don't care about the blonde hair. You care about...
Or it being a woman.
No, of course not.
If it was you're hurting my feelings.
Oh.
So Sarah meets with the Larsons.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh, please, shut up. Sarah meets with the Larsons, and she asks them, did Rosie have a lockbox at home?
Oh, no, we're coming up on something awful again.
What is that? Like, who has a lockbox?
Well, that was something that when she was talking to Holder, they were saying maybe she has like a secret lockbox or something where she'd keep love letters. Mm. That was something they said when they were walking in the rain, and she brings it up. She says it, uh-oh.
No, I'm just laughing at the walking in. I want to sing something about walking in the rain. Walking hand in hand with the one eye. They don't like each other at the moment, though.
No.
They don't. They certainly don't love each other.
They'd be singing, someone left the linden in the rain.
I was going to eat that cake. I like the...
I thought you were going to say I was going to eat that
No,
linden.
Brack. I like his version.
I was going to eat that cake.
What's that show?
The Brack Show?
Oh. I was going to eat that cake.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get back to it then?
I don't know. Well,
I just don't want to get to this next part. I'm dreading
it. So so they said I don't think so, and then they put out her boots, etc. And Mitch and Stan don't recognize what they're putting out, and they're saying, "Oh, those are hers."
Right.
So
this is showing.
So she's clearly got a whole thing going on here.
Yeah.
Sarah leaves the room.
Here it is.
Oh. She leaves the door open to the other room across the hall with all the evidence photos of Rosie.
Right.
It is so awful.
They're standing there. Mitch and Stan are standing there looking at the pictures.
And now wait, I get to throw out some terms. You could see the ligature marks all over her.
You've been working on that
I
word?
just wanted to be able to use
What
that.
else?
I wasn't paying. I got stuck on
You see her eye.
Oh God, that was gross.
And it's all white.
It's all blue from the pressure of that. Oh.
You see the plastic bag that was over her.
Yeah, you see her in the trunk.
You see her in the trunk
with the bag. Oh, it's just so awful.
And they like it does close-ups on the hands and the feet, not just the ligature, but like you can see they're scarred and bound.
That's what ligature marks.
And it comes, well, yeah, the bound is, right. But it's going to come back. We're going to see this image again. And it's just awful. And Sarah realizes as she walks in and she closes the door and she just keeps apologizing.
But the damage is done.
Yeah. And
you can't unsee
I can't.
that. And much less with your own daughter. I mean, it's hard enough seeing it for a total stranger, but seeing it for your own daughter, no, they'll never unsee that.
No, it was so
that was really
awful.
Really awful.
But once again, one more piece of this puzzle that we're getting to see that I would rather not see, but this show does a really good job of that, of capturing all those moments that would happen.
Yes,
that kind of stuff happens to people all the time, right?
So we got Gwen and Darren. And they're meeting Drexler at his house.
Right, and he's exactly what I said.
He's got a basketball hoop in the middle of the living room.
He's a big pile. He's got a ton of money, and he's
a big pile.
Well, he is. He's got his big ego trip going on. Oh, I'm all into basketball. He's one of these little shrimpy guys, all into basketball, got his basketball hoop set up. Like, really? Dude, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
They painted him that way earlier, and as soon as I saw the guy standing there, I knew which guy was him. I was like, Now I have my prejudice coming through.
Yeah, you do.
The worst, man. So, and he turns out to be the worst. He's just, yuck. He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just letting you have your moment.
And
of hatred.
And Darren feels the same way and is like, ugh.
But he already did.
Right. But
and
he's
the mayor's
not,
there.
His face is saying, there's no way I'm going to smile here.
Right. Or pretend to torture. Like you.
And then the mayor is there. And he's, of course, that slime ball is there.
Right.
And he says, I'm just here to rub it in. Sure he is.
Yeah.
Sure he is. He's probably trying to work Drexler, too. I'm sure.
Well, and Drexler calls out both men.
Oh.
And he just, you know.
Yeah, he wants them to shoot hoops.
Yeah.
It's like.
He's just being a bully.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And I thought Richmond handled it really well.
He did.
Because he said, no, we're going to just let the voters decide. We're not going to play this game. Mm-hmm. I'm not, and I like that because he's not kowtowing to this guy. Which I think if he had said, let's do it, Adams would have jumped right on it. Like, okay, I'll be your puppet here because that's what that guy is.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, but Darren wasn't quite willing to sink to that depth. Holder now is on the bus.
No, he's on the
He's
bus.
talking to Sarah, and she's scolding him. I mean, you could hear it through the phone, her tone of voice, and he's responding like a petulant child.
Yeah, well, he's calling up like, I don't want to be here. I want to get off of this bus.
Let me get off the bus.
Nobody is even looking at my picture. Nobody even wants me here.
I don't even know Rosie.
I don't even know I'm here.
Yeah. And so he's acting like a little child.
Yes. And she's saying,
shut up.
Try it again. Stay on the bus. You're not done. I don't care.
Right. Okay. So Sarah shows up on the boat. I hated the scene.
Yeah. Well, you know why?
I hated the scene. Okay. Now you're going to tell me I don't like guys.
No, you don't like aggressive kissers.
I don't like this guy.
Right.
Okay, so she shows up on the boat. Rick sneaks up and grabs her.
Yep.
Okay, now here's the same thing I don't like about the other one. I don't like sneaky I don't like this.
I gotcha.
I don't like this.
I'm just teasing
I don't like him.
I know. And you know what? He does admit that he was a jerk on the phone.
Don't care.
No, I know. There is something about this guy.
I don't like him.
It's not working. And he even tries with Jack, and
it falls flat. I don't like him.
It's false.
Ugh. Okay, so he says he sees her wound on her arm, her knife wound from Rosales or whatever,
Right.
the guy, who jumped out the window. He sees the knife wound and he says, "It's not happening again, is it?" And,
Yeah. And he
chasing
says,
after a dead girl. 'Cause she's like, "What?
Right.
What?" And he says, "Chasing after a dead girl."
Right.
So what is that?
Okay. I actually wrote down here. Mm-hmm. First, I thought that slash, what if she's like had cutting issues? Then I thought, that's not it.
No, that's not what he said.
No. But that was my first thought when he said the line. I thought, what, is she a cutter or something? Does she get so involved that happens? I think it's like Manhunter. You know the movie Manhunter?
Yes.
Where he gets so deep, William Peterson gets so deep into the psychology of the killer that he starts kind of crossing a line. And I think that's exactly what he's saying here. Like, she is a detective. She deals with these killers. Mm-hmm. She gets so invested in it that it's not that she goes bad, but she goes deep into it.
Well, I think that she just becomes unavailable.
I think we're going to see Tom Noonan playing Inagata DeVita.
I love him.
With a,
he was in X-Files.
He was, and he was
Paper Hearts.
He was the killer in Manhunter.
Yeah. So okay.
I hope he's in the show.
Throwing me off.
I wonder if he's going to be in this show. Because we keep finding people in this show. I wonder if he's going to pop up in this. Oh, let's keep our fingers crossed.
We haven't found it. Who did we find on this
Krychek.
show?
He's coming.
Well, yeah, but we haven't found anybody yet.
Oh, we found him.
Okay. So
he's the reason we do this podcast. Did we ever said that?
Yes.
Did we say that in the first episode?
Yes. Let me finish this. I want to talk about this one part. This is good.
Okay.
Okay. So he says it's not happening again. Is it right? Okay. And she says he says chasing after a dead girl. At the moment, Holder calls and she looks at the phone and she says, "Oh, my new partner's calling again." That is awesome because it's showing she's not going with you, dude.
Right. Showing a commitment
she's not,
to her job.
Yes.
To
she's
Holder.
supposed to have quit.
Right.
And so he says, new partner? Okay, yeah, because she's supposed to be done. And he says he won't compete with a ghost.
Right.
So,
and is he... Now, I wondered about that line, too. Is it competing with the ghost of Rosie?
Yeah.
Is it competing with the ghost, meaning her job? You can't get... That's like a ghost. You can't...
No, I think he meant it just literally.
Well, no. I've got one more thing. Well, yeah, literally, I agree with that. But is it Rosie, or did she have a partner? Did she have a partner that she was very involved? Doesn't matter if a girl or boy. She says a ghost. She doesn't say a girl.
Well, no,
ghost.
but over here it's not happening again, is it? Chasing after a dead girl.
Well, but that means Rosie.
No, it doesn't. He said again. It's not happening again. When you're chasing after a dead girl, this happened before.
Right,
very literally.
Right, it could have been a girl that was killed, and that was what he's referring to there. Yeah. This may be something else because now we've got a partner involved, and he says, "I'm not competing with a ghost." Is she? Did she have some kind of relationship with a partner that maybe got killed?
No, I think that's really reaching.
Okay, I am reaching.
I think it's.
I am reaching for the stars.
Ew. Okay. Well, we're gonna reach right into the next scene because
let's do it. Because
how about that segue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you're right at all. I think I'm not right either.
Okay.
I think it's very literal. That I think that she has just had another case where there was a dead girl involved, and she went so far in that they never saw her, and he says, "I'm done."
Right.
I'm not doing this. I'm not competing with someone who's not even
who's not even here. Right. Gotcha.
So the Larsons meet with the priest to plan the funeral service.
Yeah. And Mitch gets very focused once again.
Jesus' wounds after seeing her daughter's wounds.
That's why I said you're going to see that again. Like, it's not just the ligature marks, but it's like the wounds on the hands and the feet, and they show that on Christ. Mm-hmm. And it's very upsetting. She is definitely thinking that when she's looking at it. There's no illusion there, And the priest is basically just doing what a priest does.
He's trying to comfort her.
But she's
How do you comfort a woman who has lost her child?
Right.
I don't know that there are any words that anyone could say
Well, and in a case
that
like this,
would make them feel better.
He would have been better really not saying anything.
If he just said, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for your loss.
That would be so much more effective.
But to say she's with God now and God is watching over all of you, I would have. I am a Christian and I would have reeled from that.
Right.
Had I lost
right
my
now,
child.
At this moment,
she's saying, what good does that do me now?
I just need to hear, I'm sorry. That's all I need.
But what she took from that is, what good does that do me now? She's supposed to be with us.
Right.
You know, she was out there alone and scared, and where was God then?
Right.
And even...
And this priest isn't a bad guy for what he did. He just has bad timing.
He just doesn't have good bedside manner.
Right.
And he doesn't understand that you don't say something like that to a grieving parent.
Maybe he should have been counseled by you first. Yep.
I mean, it's just not the time.
Right.
And it's not where she's at. And she can't hear those words because all she knows right now is my daughter is supposed to be here and she's not.
Right.
And anything you tell me beyond that is ineffective and hurtful and ridiculous.
Right.
You know.
Okay, let's move on from this. So we go back to
Darren
Richmond, and he's out on a balcony, and Drexler comes out.
Yeah.
And they have a little conversation. You find out that Drexler wants nothing to do with the mayor.
Well, first he tells him he wants a stadium.
Right.
He doesn't tell him he doesn't want anything to do. He tries to get a stadium.
Right. And
from Darren, and Darren
Richmond's
won't
like, it's not
oblige. No. So he gives him $50,000 for his campaign, and he says because he hates the mayor that much.
Well, he actually and Richmond actually equates Drexler's move to the move the mayor's doing with his vanity project. That's actually what turns Drexler, where he's like, I'm not him. Here you go. Hands him a check for $50,000, which he had in his hand.
Well, he had already made out the check. Right. He was giving him the money
but
no
he was trying
to
see if he could get the stadium. But I think that's what pushed him over the edge, where it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not even going to try anymore because, screw Mayor Adams.
Yeah, he just wants the mayor to be hurting.
Yeah.
He just wants him to lose his campaign.
And he just wants him to know that it's because of him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you actually said something really funny when that happened, too, where you said, I hope there's somebody out there that has that kind of money that wants to give us that because they have a spiteful thing about
They hate another podcast network, and they're so angry at them that they go, you know what? Southgate Media Group needs $50,000 just to put that other podcast business out of our network out of business.
If you got $50,000,
yeah, I just thought,
you know what? We may not put somebody out of business, but if you want to spend us, $50,
yeah, right.
We'd be happy with that. Yeah. Somebody's got to buy batteries for this thing.
So Stan,
I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, it was not meant for public.
Oh, sorry.
Listening, but go ahead and you tell my jokes. So Stan is working. They drive up to this house that has a sold sign.
Yeah, little house, kind of suburban as opposed to their other place.
It turns out that Stan had bought it.
And he says,
before Rosie died, and no one knows. His family doesn't know. He was going to surprise them because he said Rosie never had a backyard. So he was trying to get them. Rosie was about to go away to college and all that, and he thought, I still have a chance to give her... I can
plant some roots here.
Something, so she would know what it felt like to have a home, a house.
And his second in command guy, I don't know his name.
The one from Session 9.
Yeah, the guy from Session 9. I don't know the character's name, though. He says, we're still pretty tweaked about that candidate. He says, do you want us to take care of it like we've done before?
Like old times.
Like old times.
Oh.
Which, and Stan says no.
So they're mob.
Yeah, they're mobbed up or something. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
And Stan's like, no, I don't do that anymore.
Right, I don't murder people anymore, or have people murdered anymore.
It might not be murder. It might just be beating them up. They might, they might be like union guys going beating people up and whatever. Not that all union people do that, but that's.
Oh yeah, now we have offended so many classes of people here.
Oh my gosh, this is the episode, isn't it? So yeah, that was pretty tough. But it also told us that Stan was involved in some shady dealings. And we don't know to what extent at this point, if he's just this purely nice guy at this point, or...
He could still be a nice guy.
There could be things going on. Well, we like Tony Soprano.
I was just thinking that.
Although he wasn't always a nice guy.
No. So Sterling's at her locker.
Okay, now wait a minute. This was funny.
What?
When they showed her walking down the hallway,
yeah.
I wrote down emo high because everybody was
Yeah.
in gray and black. They all had like the knit hats and that. It was like a very Seattle grunge scene. Thought that was pretty funny, but they're all emo. And she's walking down the hall, and she gets harassed. This guy comes up, and he's like, oh, you want to go down to the cage? And just gross. He wasn't doing that because that's something they've done. He was doing that to dig at her for what's gone on.
He did it to tease her, and he had probably seen the video.
Oh, it was gross.
Because they showed all those people
all the
video.
kids were watching that video. Just disgusting.
So, I mean, just this poor girl, you know. I mean, just what a life.
Yeah. And then they all get called to class.
She kind of gets him off of her.
Right. And they get called to class, and as they're all spreading out, Mitch is there. She's coming down the hall.
Yeah.
And she goes up to Sterling and gives her a big old hug.
But Sterling doesn't put her hands on her. She kind of holds her hands out weird.
Well, yeah,
and
but
didn't really.
That's because she doesn't know if Mitch is somehow blaming her. She doesn't know what she's in for right here. I think she feels guilty.
Yeah, I think that's more what it is. I think that she knows things and she's hiding them from her, and she doesn't want to make eye contact. She doesn't want to, and then Sterling says she's sorry, and then Mitch asked how was she when she last saw her, and Sterling said she was happy, and she asked if she was seeing anyone they didn't know about. And Sterling just went, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
And
which she doesn't actually know, because she did say earlier that she, I think this is what was going on. She can't say that to Mitch, that I think she was seeing somebody.
What she's not telling her, though, is, she was changing over the last few months, and she was clearly seeing somebody.
Right.
She was leaving
she
class.
Should have been telling
I would have told this woman.
Right. But once again, she's feeling guilty. She's feeling weird. She just wanted out of that
situation.
What? But I agree with you.
The police are going to tell them anyway, and then Sterling, then they're going to...
Why didn't you tell me?
Be hurt that many more times. Like, I don't know, but I guess high school... What do you know, right?
Yep, emo high. Kind of like Degrassi, but it's emo high.
Yeah. Stan goes into a restaurant.
Nothing like Degrassi.
I'm just ignoring you. I just am saying to get you to stop talking.
So Stan goes into a restaurant and he meets with Yanni.
Yeah, this man Yanni, who's counting up receipts.
Yeah,
so
he's
he clearly
the owner,
owns it.
But he also reeks of he's connected.
Yeah.
He reeks of it.
He gives his condolences about Rosie. And then Stan tells him he bought a house but can't move them now. And this guy looks at him and says, for 17 years you ignored me.
Yeah.
And Stan said, you know why.
Yeah.
And then Yanni gives him the money.
He gives him the cash and he says, family comes first. And Stan gets ticked and
he kind of spits it out. Like
we were never family.
Yeah, he says it really venomously.
Now here's what I wonder.
Is it his brother or cousin?
Yeah, is it somebody he's related to?
Or was it family mob?
Right.
Like you were one of us at one time.
Right. And now you've rejected us.
And for 17 years you've ignored me.
Right.
And rejected us, but now you're coming back here.
But I know who you are. Now you're coming to me for money. Yeah. So we'll see how that unfolds. I have no idea.
This is not going to be pretty.
Okay. We're back to Holder and the never-ending bus ride.
He starts to get off the bus. But then a new bus driver comes on. So
and just by chance, he says, oh, hey, buddy, do me a favor. Do you recognize this? And he shows him the picture of Rosie, and he does.
Yeah, he did.
And he says, well, where did she go? And he goes, well, that's easy. End of the line.
Well, and he said, you really recognize her? And he said, yeah, not a lot of white girls on this bus, which made me say, Rob, it's the teacher.
You did. And that's because your point was good. I mean...
He's the only African-American character we've seen.
Right. So that would be the only one, that we have come in contact with here that she would have been
or any other
involved in.
Any other minority even. I mean, no, Asian, nothing, nobody. So even if it wasn't just a white...
Seattle's very white.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just was interesting. But as soon as they said it, because I had suspected the teacher. I suspected the teacher in the very beginning when Holder first talked to him.
Well, and you made
at the school.
You made a good point. Yeah, you did. But you made a good point too when you said he's the only character that we don't know his name yet.
Yes. They just keep calling him the teacher. They refer to him as the teacher. And no one has ever said his name.
You had your suspicions in that first episode, which
I
had not at all had suspicions about him until this episode.
Yeah, I just thought young, good-looking young teacher and a pretty student who's, and I thought, oh, this isn't good. But then as soon as that bus driver said, we don't get a lot of white girls on this bus, every alarm went off.
Right.
That, oh my gosh, it's the teacher. So, so we go over to Sarah. She's she's on
the boat.
She's on the boat, and she opens up a box.
And it's post Whoopi with Rick. Rick is downstairs still.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we didn't have to see him. So she has running shoes in there. She has a file folder, nicotine gum.
Yep. And she pulls out that picture, that drawing that she had in the first episode
of that the boy drew.
Yeah.
That you
think was Jack.
I think was Jack. Okay.
Right.
So then she finds cigarettes in the pillow.
Right.
I thought they were hers.
Right.
I didn't know why she was hiding cigarettes in a pillow.
It was her Nicotrend. It was called Nicotrend. We paused it.
Okay.
It was her Nicotrend, but not her cigarettes. And she pulls those out and she crumples it up. But an interesting thing happens at the very end of this scene.
Mm-hmm.
She goes back into that pillowcase and is digging into the pillow.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Was she trying to pull out cigarettes?
Or was she checking to see if there's anything else hidden in there?
Right, because she did imply with Reggie in the last episode that she did more than just smoke cigarettes when she was his age.
Yeah.
So is she thinking he's going down the same path? She's just checking? Did she just find something? Because it cut away before we saw.
Yeah, they didn't ever show us.
So I think we're going to come back to that. There's going to be something more about that.
Yeah. But I think that they had her go back to the pillow so that when we see her, so that like the light bulb went off.
Right.
And then that's when so we'll see that later. But Rosie's locker is all decorated. Now we're at the high school again.
Right. And Mitch is sitting there
on a bench right across from it.
Right.
Which is unusual. I don't know. Did any of your lockers?
Yeah.
Were they just one?
Yes.
All of ours were 2 rows.
No, there were parts that had just one row of lockers. And in fact, just like that, where it's like a row and then there might be a bench across from it.
We did not have that.
A couple of classrooms and a bench. Yeah, we had that in certain areas.
A couple acres and a rake.
Yeah, a couple acres and a rake. That's my production company. Thank you. We've got many projects in various stages of development.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
None of them in development. In various stages of non-development.
Yes. But I did have a hat made that says a couple acres and a rake.
Yes, she did. Mitch is sitting across from it when the teacher comes out. He compliments Rosie, and he said, she's the reason I went into teaching. Creeper.
Yep.
Smart, eager to learn, and he says she wanted the world. He knew way too much about her.
Right, and he breaks into song at this point. Everything is Rosie.
No, but he knows way too much about her. And the fact that he's telling her mother who she is.
Well, he called her mom, too. That was a little weird.
Is disturbing to me.
Yes.
So Stan goes into Rosie's room. He's at home. He goes into Rosie's room, and he's looking at her dresses. I'm assuming that he's trying to figure out what to bury her in.
Right. The funeral director said, get her a nice dress.
You're going to want to put her in a dress.
So he's looking at the dresses, and he starts to smell them to get her scent, which, nothing weird there. I mean, it's just...
No,
it's just grieving.
Yes, exactly. And we haven't seen a lot of him grieving because Mitch is grieving so largely that there's not really room for his grief.
It's these moments of isolation where you see a little bit, but then he has to buck up.
Yes.
And here, This is his one downtime. And Sarah walks in and startles him.
For crying out loud. She says she needs to check Rosie's room again.
Yeah.
And he looked at her and he said, you said she didn't suffer.
Yeah.
You should have told us.
You should have told us. Oh, man.
Oh, and she was trying to spare them.
Right.
And didn't think they'd ever find out. But now it hurts doubly because they feel betrayed.
Right.
And
it's terrible.
And
once again,
they
how
have
many
to
times
feel
can I
it
say
again.
this was awful? But it's another awful situation. And your heart goes out for both sides in that.
And at this point, Sarah checks Rosie's pillowcase because she's thinking, "Ooh, where
Did she do that? I didn't notice.
Yes, that was the first thing she went over and she started digging in the pillowcases, but she didn't find anything.
Oh, maybe that's all it was when she dug into.
That's
the
why I
pillowcase.
was trying to tell you.
Maybe
I think it was
like,
showing that the light bulb went off.
Oh,
so that she would go.
The light bulb just went off.
Yeah, on your
right
ding
here.
ding ding.
Yeah, ding ding ding.
The filament wasn't quite.
The more I
working
know.
on yours.
Yeah, my filament is dim.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be broken.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let that go. So the teacher shows Mitch her favorite book, her favorite author, and I'm thinking, really?
Yeah, he's way too invested and knows.
I mean, seriously, it's a high school. You have hundreds and hundreds of students, and you know every one of their favorite books.
She's the one special one that he
right.
knows,
That's my point.
But he knows a little too much.
So I don't believe that he killed her.
No, I don't either.
I believe that they were having a relationship that was out of,
or at least he was.
Yeah, there was something going on there that crossed a line.
Here's what I'm thinking. He was having an emotional relationship with her, which is how
we don't know if it was further than that.
Right, but he got her out to that where we're going to go in a minute, and that's where she meets the killer. The killer.
You think?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see. So Jack is sitting on the boat, and he's eating the wedding cake samples that Rick had brought in order for them, because he said, if you can't come to California to plan this wedding, I will bring the samples. I brought the samples here so we could at least sample the wedding cake.
So one time
they never got to it.
Well, so one time I like Rick, he should have shown up here with some samples of cake.
Why? We can't eat it anyway.
4 years ago.
Okay.
When I did.
So he says, Jack looks at him, he says, where's your mom? And Jack looks at him and says, she's gone, get used to it.
Yeah.
Because, Jack never sees her.
Right. And he's like raising himself out here.
Yeah. Reggie's helping, but not.
But Reggie's not there. She wasn't there at all during this.
So he gets him to eat all the cake. But you know what? He's an aggressive eater too.
He totally
And that really made me mad because it was messy for this. I was like, you're wasting it. Now you're just being a jerk with the cake.
Jammed the cake in and it all over.
It just is disrespectful to the cake.
And it wasn't like, oh, he's having fun with Jack. He's an aggressive eater.
He's an aggressive eater.
He's got some kind of weird oral fixation.
It made me very angry.
Yes.
And he's just a disrespectful guy.
Yep.
And you don't do that to a piece of cake.
No, I wouldn't waste.
It makes me very
any of
angry
it
when I see someone disrespect.
Yes, I agree.
Their cake.
I agree.
So Holder's getting off the bus. Finally, he gets off the bus.
Well, he's reached the end of the line,
and he follows a kid.
Yeah, and I thought it was a high school football jacket,
I did too.
But I think it's basketball.
It's something.
Some high school jacket.
So he follows him.
Right.
And then we don't see anything except him following him.
Right.
Then Darren meets with Jamie.
Yeah, but we're getting to that point where in the show
it starts doing the montage.
It does the very quick cuts.
Yeah.
So we're seeing blurb, blurb. So this is going to go quickly. We've got Holder following this kid. Then we've got
Darren meets Jamie.
Yes.
And this was exciting. He meets Jamie. And we think, oh my gosh, they do have a relationship.
Oh, right.
Not Gwen. He meets Jamie.
Right.
And he says, did Adams admit to planting the leak yet?
Right.
And Jamie says, not yet. Yay.
So Jamie is
Jamie is working with him. Yes.
For the Adams, which means...
It made me very happy.
Once again, it goes back to Could be Gwen.
Yes.
She's throwing him under the bus. But I still don't think it's Gwen.
No, I think it's too obvious.
Right.
But he said, but he says not yet. I'm thinking, what? Really? Okay, so then Jamie looks at him and says, how did you know it wasn't me? And Darren says, because if you wanted to screw me, you would have found a smarter way to do it.
Right.
I mean, clearly this guy is brilliant, and he
Right.
wouldn't allow an email like that to sit on his hard drive. Like,
right.
it's just not going to, I mean, it was way too obvious.
Right.
And so I'm glad that, that their relationship was redeemed.
Well, and all of that may have been real when they
Jamie
confronted
was
him
upset.
and they fired him.
Yeah.
That may have been real, and we don't know. It may have been immediately following that Darren called him and said, this is what's going on. I needed you to be real. I needed this to happen.
Exactly.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Really great.
And then Holder ends up at that All-Star place.
Right. So
that
he goes,
Darren
after he
Richmond
follows
started.
his kid, he sees it's that All-Star basketball Midnight League thing. He goes up to one of the coaches, and he says, "Hey, have you seen this girl?" And he's like,
Rosie.
He's like, "Yeah, she's been around." Now we see Sarah.
But he points her over.
Right, over to the case. Right, points to him over to the case. And Holder turns. Then we don't see it yet, though. We see Sarah...
Is in Rosie's room
And it's so funny, because she has this globe lamp sitting on the desk.
Yeah.
And I just said, that is a really cool lamp. Sarah turns it on, it all lights up. I'm like, that is so cool, She can see from her perspective there's something inside.
I thought there was a key. I thought there was going to be a key in there.
Yeah, I didn't think anything was
I didn't think there were going to be letters, but I knew there'd be something
and there's
in there.
letters inside.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Bozo...
The big drum?
The big drum on Bozo when they spun and then they pull the letters out.
Yes, and then you
maybe
get to be
she
in
was
the
a Bozo
Grand
fan. Yeah.
Grand Prize game, yeah.
I never did. I never went to the...
No, I didn't either. We were so neglected.
Darn it.
Man. Thanks, Mom.
So, we're not brother and sister.
Thanks, your mom and mom.
Yeah, exactly. That was just made it sound a little creepy. Darren and Gwen are looking at his new billboard. So you start to see that unfolding, that his new media blitz is starting.
Yes.
They've cashed the check.
Yes.
Stan is putting the money that he got.
Wait.
Go ahead.
You didn't, you missed when Sarah opened those letters. She pulled the letters out at this point. No, she pulled them out after she saw the thing in the...
Right.
But
it didn't tell who it was yet.
It didn't tell who it was yet, but you saw the letters, and when you read it, it was like, you are an old soul.
Yeah, it was and it was poetry and everything.
It was so obvious who it was going to be.
Of course.
So I just wanted to point that out before we went further, because it's...
And that's
the
name of the episode, was in the letter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was... the name of the episode is A Soundless Echo, and it was the last line of one of the quotes he was using.
So now
Stan is putting the money that he got from that guy
he's
into a book.
It's an old ledger.
Yeah, in his garage office.
Right. He's hiding it in this ledger, which no one's going to look in.
Now, Holder is at the case, and he looks in, and he sees the picture of the teacher.
Yes. Well, no, okay. You spoiled it because...
What?
Well, no, because it built up really nicely. He's walking up to the case. It's a trophy case. And above it is a sign that says, Richmond Mayor. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I'm thinking, the implication is that she was here with Richmond.
Right.
Like, what? But then he looks down at the pictures, and one of the teams, the teacher... is with the team. Mm-hmm. And you see Holder's face like,
oh,
whoa. He recognizes him immediately. Mm-hmm. Then we cut to Sarah for the last scene.
Got the letter,
she
and
turns
it
over
says
the letter,
Bennett.
And it says Bennett. Now we know the teacher's name,
yeah.
and that is the teacher. Holy cow.
Yeah. Now, I still don't believe he murdered her.
No.
But I believe that they had...
No, I think I'm right. I think that he's the reason she went out there. And then she met whoever it is that's the killer.
I think that they had a relationship that crossed a line.
And whoever it is involved with Richmond's campaign.
Yes.
And we still don't know. There is the possibility that it's Richmond.
There's also the possibility that it's Jamie.
We just saw Richmond be completely deceptive without you knowing anything that was going on. How he played it with Jamie. You had no clue. He was
cardboard. I mean, like, really.
He could be that deceptive with this, too.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
We also don't know if he was responsible for his wife's death.
Right.
Because he could be like a Drew Peterson.
Yeah.
And if you're from Chicago, you know very well who that is.
Right.
But if not, you should. I would imagine it was national news. But
it was national news.
But he could be somebody like that, where he just has a string of these exes that or wives that he offed. And
well, we don't know. I don't know. Did they ever indict Drew Peterson? I don't know if we know that that's 100% accurate. So I don't want to say that's what it is, but he was certainly...
I am not backing down.
He has been implied that that's what happened, and that could be what is happening.
He was
here.
Implicated in the one. He's in prison for the one. And the other one, they haven't... I don't think they have decided yet.
Okay. So, but it is that same kind of sketchy...
So he very well could have caused the death
or Jamie or Gwen... Mm-hmm. If she saw her with him and got jealous, or it could be a character we haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm. We just don't know. But oh my gosh.
But this was fantastic.
This episode, I just wanted to jump right into the next one.
Yeah.
But
we can't.
Listen to our voices. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
It's too late.
It's too late. We'll have to do it later this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just keep going with this. I'm kind of jealous of the people that are listening because they can marathon this thing.
Yeah, I want a marathon so bad, but we can't.
And then they can go back and they can marathon the podcast, and it would be just as fun. But
we can't.
We can't because we have no memories.
No.
We would make it through, like, we'd watch 2 episodes and then we're like, I don't remember what happened in the first one, but here's what happened. And then I'd start talking about Small Wonder. You'd talk about X-Files. It would just go completely crazy, unlike this episode, which was
this one had quite a few X-Files things.
Yes. Well, we can't help it. There are so many things
Okay,
here.
he better be in a suit in the next episode.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Did Scully date an aggressive kisser?
Yeah, what's his name?
The guy with the dragon tattoo?
Oh, now you know how late it is. Yeah, that's how late it is. It was Jodie Foster tattoo. It was the Jodie Foster face. Never again.
Never again.
And his name was, I think I could come up with his name in real life, but I forgot.
Come on, do it.
Jurse, Ed Jurse on the show.
That was the character?
Yeah, Edward Jurse, yeah.
Excellent.
So I think he was an aggressive kisser, if my memory serves.
He was a greasy kisser, I think. He was kind of greasy, if I remember right. Wasn't he? I don't know. You know what? I didn't watch it with the same eye you did.
It doesn't matter, though, because this is a whole new thing.
Yes. But it's just
if they would just have Holder in a suit, that would just make me happy.
And if maybe they called each other once in a while and said, Holder, it's me.
Exactly. Well, Sarah did the one in the one episode.
Lyndon, it's me.
Right.
Holder, it's me. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it. And maybe if Fluke Worm showed up, that'd be cool, too.
Yep.
That's not going to happen. But it is in the fanfic I'm writing.
All right. So on that note,
let's end it.
Can you do the final business?
Okay. So thanks for listening, everybody. This has been The Killing Podcast, Episode 4. Find us on Facebook at The Killing Podcast. So original. And you can follow us on Twitter at The Killing Pod. You can also follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate. And there we talk about all of our new shows and all the projects we have going. And oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. As we're talking to you right now, we launched a new show today. Now, by the time you hear this, it's old news. But we launched another new show today. Was that 2 this week?
Well,
that went on?
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 more coming next week. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps growing and going. I'm a grower and a goer.
This at least is productive compared to your production company.
Oh man!
Did you say our website?
Yes, our website is southgatemediagroup.com. You can find all of our shows there. You can find links to things. We're actually growing that too to make it to put blog things and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah,
blog posts and things on there. Okay. And you can follow my production company, A Couple Acres and a Rake, nowhere because I do nothing with it.
Because it no longer exists.
It exists.
It was about right here in his head.
I've got many projects in various stages of development.
It was about a minute and a half. It was long enough for you to get a hat.
Yep. And I am going to get another one.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Did we hit all the social media? I think we hit enough for now, right? Once again, thank you for listening, everybody. It is our pleasure to do this, and
it's a fantastic show.
We really love you guys. I know that we're recording this earlier than you're hearing it, but the response.
What does that mean?
No.
We're not live,
right? But I know that we're not interacting with you directly yet as we're recording these, but we have been interacting with various people on the Twitter feeds. And there's just been so much support and so much excitement for this. We just love it, and we're just having so much fun. So thank you for that, too.
Hopefully we're not butchering it too badly.
Oh, I'm sure we are. Well, that does it.
All right.
So, for the Killing Podcast...
I'm Martha Southgate.
And I'm Rob Southgate. Thanks so much, and I think I've said thank you like 14 times.
Yeah, can you stop now? But how about find out next week who killed Rosie?
But no, we're not going to find out.
We might.
Okay. Find out at some point did kill Rosie. I almost called her Rosie Palmer. That would have been bad. It's Rosie Larson.
Rosie Palmer? Isn't that from Twin Peaks?
No. That's Laura Palmer. Rosie Palmer is... I
just got it.
Yep.
Okay, then. Yeah, we are...
Who did kill Rosie Larson?